Good morning. I don't have too long today because it's like, what time is it? Like 5:30 almost. And I have to go grab a ride out of town in the next 40 minutes because I have a big marketing retreat for work today. Yeah, but we made a commitment and we're here. So welcome to today's episode of Daily Dose of Ingrid the Rose. It's early. I don't believe in being up at this time, to be honest. I did have a time in my life where I was at work at this time every day, and it was brutal. And in a year and a half of being a barista, it took a toll on my personality because I belong to the streets of the night. Today's reflection will be brief and concise, surprisingly, because I don't have time. But I do want to reflect on the importance of the people you have around you in your life, because they are a direct mirror to your life and a catalyst or a weight, depending on where you're at and who they are and your relationship with them. And yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine about just the season I'm in. We're just catching up. We send little voice messages and videos on Messenger on Instagram chat. And I was telling her about, I'm like reframing my brain. Like, you know what? I'm not, because I caught myself the other day. A friend, I think they meant well. He was like, oh, when are you back from Europe? I'm like, oh, we'll probably be back at the end of August, like August 31st. It's like, well, if it doesn't happen, we're throwing this event, this is something to look forward to. And like, I understood it. I totally got what he meant. And it's true. Like, there is a world of a chance where I don't make enough cash and then I don't have the cash personally to go. And so maybe I don't go on the trip at all, or I cut the trip in half or in thirds or whatever's. And I was like, oh, that's cool, awesome. But like the way it made me feel was like, and again, it wasn't intentional. I think it was just there being, realistic, or like saying, or maybe just being supportive. Hey, I know it's a big lift. So if you can't lift it, there's still awesome things to do here. But I walked home that day like really perplexed because I was like, I don't want to be hedging my bets already. I have over a month and a half to raise $6,000. That's not a lot. It's $100 people giving $60. It's, 600 people giving $10. I know 600 people, like not personally, you know what I'm saying? I've got 3,000 people on Instagram and 2,000 on fucking Facebook, and how many people I just know in real life? $10, maybe it's also a handful of $10 bills that I save. And that being said, I can't control what's in the future. I don't know what's in the future, but I can control today what I do. I can control my mindset today. I can control how I walk in today. And I just want to choose to assume, like I said yesterday, that rather than maybe it won't work out, maybe it will. And so I've been like reframing my mind around that. We had a conversation yesterday. So I was chatting with my friend yesterday about that in the afternoon. And she's like, girl, I've seen you do crazier things than this. I've seen you pull off crazier things than this. So yeah, it makes total sense that you're like, I'm going to Europe this summer. You're going to do that. And it was interesting because I am in it and it feels like this feels big. This feels like a lift. Because I'm in it and I'm thinking of all the little minutia, and I'm like, what are the strategies of fundraiser events? This and that, emails, all the possibilities. And she's sitting there like, yeah, you'll do it, because she's walked alongside me from the outside. So she has a perspective on me and my life and my journey that I just don't have, in part because we're like the worst judge of ourselves most of the times. We're hardest on ourselves than most people are. I think, at least for me, I'm just a fucking perfectionist because of things. And I often don't sit in my wins because I'm always like, well, it's not enough, or it's not this, or it's not the big goal that I had, or it's not, my mom used to always say, where's the other 10% when I would get a 90 on a test? And so when in my formative years, 90% was not good enough, which is crazy. Now I've developed this thing where I dismiss anything I achieve. And so I feel like even in this process, I know we've been talking about this the last week or so, the learning is to like own where I'm at in a like not in a prideful way, but not in an overly humble, like self-deprecating way. I think humility is just knowing who you are, where you stand, and holding it loosely, but firmly. And so yeah, I'm so thankful for my friend being like, bitch, I've seen you. You're good. You got this. Did you not think you had this? Like, what? I'm glad for the people in my life who all can be like, really? Who can be like, oh no, remember when this, and that? When I cannot have the remembrance myself, they can show up and help me remember where I've been and the wins I've had because they've seen it. Or she'll be like, remember when you manifested this life? Remember when you said you wanted to be booked and do all these things? And now, it's funny, the life you're complaining about is the life you asked for. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I am living that life. I'm like working on this marketing retreat brief and things like that. And I'm like also, producing my own stuff. And I'm also working on shows. And I'm also stretching myself and doing things that are, bigger than me so I can actually stretch. And I'm getting fit and all these things. And so all that to say is that I'm tired, but I'm thankful. Shout out to my homies for being the dope mirrors and encouragers in my life, and that those people are so important. Also, I just made some dope ass visuals for my fundraising campaign on Instagram. You should check them out at Ingrid the Rose and all the things. And just by reposting and being bold about it, I gained another $50 yesterday, in like the wee hours, like at midnight. So that puts me at 275 or 6,000. So I'm probably now just like over 5%. 10% of 6,000 is 600, right? I'm so tired. And then half of that is 300. So yeah, I'm just under 10%. So that's a fucking big deal. So let's celebrate just under 10%. Pew, 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 pew. Let's celebrate good friends. Pew, 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 pew. Let's celebrate getting things done. Pew, 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 pew. Let's celebrate being alive. Pew, 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 pew. Let's celebrate you being here with me. Pew, 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 pew. Let's celebrate that I have to go because I have to go catch this car and go to this retreat. So love y'all. Have a good day. Okay, bye.